Oh, also move. Okay, we gotta slide it back. Ah.
So this week did not go according to plan.
Oh boy.
We were supposed to frame the walls for our 12 by 12 shed here in the mountains of North Carolina. But there's one big problem. We have no idea what we're doing.
Careful. Okay. Whoa.
We're trying to build our first real structure here on this raw piece of land with no construction experience.
Whoa, power line.
And we're learning to do it all as we go, one mistake at a time.
In other news, we've just flooded our work area.
This is the story of how we nearly wrecked our first wall.
I don't know if I'm gonna be able to hold it if you get rid of that support.
And what it taught us about slowing down, building smarter, and sticking with it.
Piece of cake.
Now, if you're new here, my wife and I used to live full-time on a sailboat, traveling the world and making videos. But a few months ago, we made a big change. That make you excited?
Yeah.
We bought this raw piece of land in the Smoky Mountains of North Carolina to build our forever home. We've got 2 little girls, a dog, no construction experience, and a dream that's much bigger than our skill set.
Woo!
But we're figuring it out one challenge at a time, starting with this shed.
Uh-oh.
So if you're into building from scratch, mountain living, and raising kids with dirt on their shoes, we'd love to have you along for the ride. Feel free to subscribe so you don't miss out on what happens next.
Okay. All right, so today is an extremely exciting day because we are gonna frame walls. Making floors is pretty cool. Right now we've got a pretty sweet dance floor going on here. Framing walls is where it turns into the thing where you can like live in it. It's a structure. So the first step is I've got the top and bottom plate here, and I'm going to mark out the entire wall on this top and bottom plate. All right, so now I've got the studs laid out as if there were no windows on this wall. So now I'm gonna come back and figure out exactly where the window is gonna go. I know that the middle of the window is gonna be in exactly the middle of the wall. So I'll measure to the middle of the wall and mark that point. I know what the rough opening for the window is gonna be, so I'm gonna measure out from that center point, and then I'll know exactly where to mark our jack stud and our king stud.
So the simplest possible conventionally framed wall is made up of a top and bottom plate, as well as studs every 16 inches, and that's pretty much it. But things get a little more complicated when you introduce windows and doors. Here, the header spans above the window or door. The roof or second story loads are transferred from the top plate to the upper cripples to the header, and finally to the jack and king studs. And for windows, there's lower cripples that support the window sill, which combined with the jack studs and header create the rough opening where the window will eventually go.
So now we just gotta cut some studs. Great, well, have fun. I'll start nailing these things.
Okay, that's 2.
Cool. Oh my gosh, this is so awesome.
I'm loving this cutoff saw. I mean, it's got a slide out stop. It's more of a radial arm saw than a cutoff saw. Features on modern day equipment are just so much better.
Cool, looks like a wall.
Yes, it sure does.
Like a glove. Two and a half feet from the floor. That sounds like it's the right height. All right, that is our first wall complete. I'm curious how heavy it is. I'm gonna try to lift it by myself. Hey!
Look at that.
But one thing I can tell I did wrong is I like relied on the fact that it was all on the floor to assume it was all flush. But like I can see like the level here is inconsistent. I think it has to do with the imperfections of the boards. So I think it's like you said, you just make it so that the top and bottom imperfection are similar and don't rely on the fact that it's on a floor. Wow, so we're like 3/16 over 169. So this is the long side. Do you want to just hold your side and I'll hit this side with a hammer? Boy, I think that's it. Let's grab a OSB and put it on. Cool, that's in. Okay, ready to do this thing? This is a whole lot heavier.
It's on OSB, I think.
You just go look at it, big guy. I'll hold it. Careful.
Okay.
Whoa. Okay. That's pretty darn close.
Should you tap the wall towards me on the bottom?
Yeah, good idea. Ah, there's a nail down there. Damn it. I don't know what I'm gonna do about that. I could cut it with, oh, I got my grinder over there. You okay?
Yeah, but we could throw a screw in just so I don't have to do this. Cool. Is it gone?
It's gone.
I'm gonna knock this way.
Keep going, keep going. That's good. All right, good job, big guy. Thanks for your help with my first wall. All right, so that actually took a lot of time today, just because every single step, I wanted to make sure that I had my mind fully wrapped around it. I understood all the variables, and to make sure that we were doing it totally to code. Every day we're not making a lot of progress, but like mentally I'm learning a ton. So tomorrow should go a lot faster. I don't know, maybe you think we could get all 3 walls up tomorrow? My dad does not think so. I think there's a chance we could get maybe 3, but
I say 2.
2 for sure.
So while Jordan's at the property today, one of my other goals, other than doing dishes, getting some food cooked, and keeping this little thing alive. Say hi, Scarlett. Today, my other project that I'm working on is I'm trying to black out this curtain and that curtain so that I can start sleep training Scarlett so that she can sleep through the night by herself and take naps on her own, hopefully when she turns 4 months old, which is coming up soon. Scarlett is basically awake in about an hour increments now, so I've probably got like 45 minutes to do this before she starts getting sleepy, and then I'll need to start putting her down to sleep. Are you gonna let mommy get some work done, huh? Okay, there's the curtain I did back there. Can't see. Yeah, I did the top of that one. Still need to do that one. Finish that side over there. So we almost have a completely blacked out room. I'm gonna save that last panel as an errand for tomorrow because right now we're gonna take the girls to the park. How's Isabella? Are you matching your baby sister? Okay, that's so nice.
Tire swing?
Yeah, come on, let's go to the tire swing. Whee! Are you getting dizzy yet? No? Oh, that's nice. Oh.
Oh boy.
This was actually the very first time that we've had to take our Bluetti system back to the rental to recharge it. So we've been using it for like a week. Last night, I think it was at like 29%. So it could have probably gone like another day maybe. I don't know, it's hard to say.
So as a reminder, we don't currently have electricity at the property, but rather than constantly running a noisy generator, we've been using this Bluetti power station to charge our batteries and run our tools.
So this is working amazingly because it's charging all of our cordless tool batteries. It's powering the miter saw, it's powering the table saw. It's amazing. So as of right now with our current pace, I think it lasts about a week. So it's like every week, like if I take a day off or something, I'll just take it home and charge it. It takes like 2 hours to recharge. It's nuts. This thing is amazing. So anyway, yeah, let's get back to work. So the top plate and bottom plate are 12 feet. I think generally speaking, the top and bottom plate should be the straightest. So let's go find 2 really straight 12 footers. That one is almost perfect. Oh, and that one is all, okay, I think we got winners. Nice. Well, I've made my first major mistake of the day. So I actually nailed this header in. I put 3 nails into it, did some work to make it flush with the stud, but then I realized that there's actually like an 1/8 of an inch gap right here between the jack stud and the header. And while these nails here that go into the header from the king stud are helpful in supporting the header, what does most of the work is the jack stud. And so if the header's not touching the jack stud, that's no bueno. I think the only thing I really can do is take the Sawzall to it. I actually just today bought a couple of blades for this because I was like, you know what, we're gonna have to cut some nails at some point, and well, here we are.
Okay, I think you're free.
And the blade survived. A little bent, but it's all right. That is much better. All right, cripple time. Wow, that's a lot of matching happening.
Look, oh, are you being shy? Today is Easter, so we're gonna check out a local church in town and do an Easter egg hunt for Isabella.
Taking the day off. What do you think, Scarlett? A well-deserved day off? Yeah, you've been working too hard. And then the big guy and I are kind of matching. We tried.
Blue.
It's actually pretty close. Isabella, are you the greeter? You look very cute today. This is your kind of church, buddy. Get in there. Yeah, nice. Yeah, it's broken. You want Dad to fix it? Okay, let's put it down like that. Okay, now put it in your bag. Yeah, good job. Whoa, that's nice.
Thank you.
Wow, she's so confused.
Say bye-bye, bunny.
Bye, Bunny.
Bye, Bunny. It is officially spring because it is starting to get green here. It's getting greener by the day, and I'm pumped about this transformation because this area, this land is just even more beautiful than I thought it was going to be. So it's been pretty slow going. We've been at this for a couple days, and all we've got is the gravel foundation, the floor, and then like 1.5 walls done. I've had a lot going on in terms of just planning. We've got Isabella's health stuff that we've been dealing with. We've been dealing with like residency stuff. And at this point, I feel like we've got all of the tools. We've got the knowledge. Like I feel comfortable with this. So let's see if we can bang out the rest of the walls just today, which like we're only getting at this at about noon. So I think half a day might be able to finish the walls. I don't know, we'll find out. Okay, next one. Okay, now for the hard ones.
Is that good?
No, we should shorten it by 1/4 of an inch up here.
Let's just slide it over here and I'll use the edge here as a table.
Okay, sheathing done. Okay. Whoa.
Oh, wait. Bring it back to us. There we go.
Oh, no, we gotta slide it forward. Okay, ready? Here we go. Oh, also move. Okay, we gotta slide it back. It's off. I think we got no other choice than to put it down.
See, it's gonna slide out that way.
Yeah, that's mostly because of the supports. I'll hold it if you get rid of the supports. Oh boy. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to hold it if you get rid of that support. I think we just gotta ease it down. Oso, go. You're out of here,
come.
dude.
Now you stay there. We need a way to keep it from sliding, some sort of block.
Yeah, we can do the nail trick. Take 2. Okay, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Piece of cake.
Wow, That was awesome. Do you want to hold it?
I got it.
Man, those nails worked great. Yeah, it looks like we might be a little too far this way. Sweet. Hey, you want to walk in the front door?
Go ahead.
This is gonna be a sweet shed.
Uh-huh.
So to show you guys what made this go so much more smoothly, it was these toenails that I did in the bottom sill. I did 4 of them. You can see this one actually pulled out completely. But basically, as the wall hinges up, those nails kind of get pulled out, but not all the way, and they create enough resistance so that the wall doesn't want to slide at all, other than being pivoted up. And so what's cool is that by the time we pivoted it up, it's in the perfect position now, both this way and this way, and this way and this way. And most importantly, it didn't slide, which that was horrible. I don't think I'm ever gonna raise a wall again without doing this trick. But yeah, thanks to these little guys, that went much smoother. Wow, perfect. Okay, so this is actually gonna be the simplest of all 4 walls because it doesn't have any windows. It doesn't have anything complicated. So it's just gonna be 10 studs going straight up and down. And yet I almost screwed this one up. And so at first, you can see I made marks for studs here, marks for studs here, marks for studs all the way along that were wrong. And the reason is because I was measuring from here, 16 on center, which got me to, you know, here. But we don't measure from there, we measure from here. Not even here, but like right here. Because from this corner to this corner, that is 12 feet wide, which is the exact width that we want for our sheet goods materials, because those are 4 feet wide, so we'll do 4 feet, 4 feet, 4 feet, so it'll fit perfect. And so because of that, the 16 on center basically has to always start from the corner of the building, and if there are already walls in place, then it starts from the corner of those walls. So almost messed that up. Luckily I caught myself, and so studs are gonna go there, there, there. See, this is why I'm so glad I'm making this shed. It's like I can make all these stupid mistakes, maybe I'll catch them, maybe I won't, and it just doesn't matter. It's all about learning, and it's all about having a shed at the end of the day. So this is great. Yeah, I feel a lot more comfortable with the inherent imperfections in this framing. Basically trusting my eyeball and realizing like if it looks pretty darn good, just shoot it. There you go, that's the wall. That was easy, man. I mean, we still need to sheath it, but I think we'll wait until we put it up to sheath it because the sheathing has to go like on the outside of all 3 walls. Also, something's going on with my pants. I'm aware that there's a giant rip and it's getting bigger. I don't know what's happening. I need new pants. This either could be extremely easy and satisfying to lift this up, or it's gonna get snagged and it's gonna be frustrating and difficult.
Look at that piece of cake.
Whoa. Okay, it was the easy and satisfying one. All right, so the big guy hasn't gotten to use the nail gun yet, so he's going to tie together the walls. Dude, I love that. Woo! Yeah, that thing's locked. All right, so we got what looks like a couple days of rain coming up, which is unfortunate. We've had really good luck with weather since we started this project, but we're gonna try to cover everything up as best we can. Oh, so you're going in the tarp, buddy. So we are just about set for the storm, but look at this, man. I'm super pumped. We got 3 walls. This thing's super solid. Standing in here, like I have a really good sense of the fact that we're going to be able to keep all of our tools in here. I'll put a desk in here, so I'll be able to do like editing and computer work in here, you know, while we're living in the trailer. I am pumped about this. It's a lot bigger than I imagined, honestly. I mean, like, look at those walls. They're pretty high, dude. So, I mean, there's nothing inherently really all that different about building this shed than building a house, right? Like there's elements of a house that are more complicated, but like it's all pretty darn similar. So like I'm learning to build a house through this, which is so cool.
girlfriend, you have to eat your broccoli. Okay? Totally. Where's Dada?
Dada at property.
Dada's at the property. What's Dada doing at the property? He's building a...
Cat.
Yeah, a shed. Very good. Issa and I decided to take a little outing to the river, and I just love this area because there are rivers all around. You can just pull off the side of the road and just play in the water. Good job, you got the ducky. Ducky's all wet. Oh, Ducky got away. Here, let's go see if we can go downstream. Come on, gotta get that ducky. We gotta go get that ducky. Oh boy, I don't know if we can get it, Issa. Oh, say bye-bye, Ducky.
All right, well, it's clear the property got a lot of rain, but luckily all the tarps are still where we left them. So all the lumber is still protected and the tarps didn't fly away. The easy up is still here. We like secured it really strong and lowered it. So we got to bring that back up. And then it looks like the tarp on the shed did a good job of, you know, keeping the water off the floor, seeing as how there's a little lake on top of it right now. Yeah, time to clean everything up and get back to work. It is gonna rain off and on all week, and so we may be dealing with this a lot. And that's actually something I think is just kind of the norm here in Western North Carolina. And I also think that since spring is really kicking off, it's been really dry the last week or two, and so this rain has really kick-started spring, and you can hear the birds are very stoked about it. Well, that gravel works great as a drain. In other news, we've just flooded our work area.
And just as we started making some progress, dark clouds started to roll in, and sure enough, it started to rain.
Rain is clearing up just enough to get started again. I think we might just have to get a little wet today because I think it's just gonna do this on and off all day. Ran into a bit of a snag. So we have the studs that I'm nailing together. These right here are the king studs around the window, and then those are the jack studs. So the jack studs connect up against the king studs, and then that's where the window is in between the jack studs. The issue that I'm having is we're running down to our last bit of 2x4s, and this king stud is really twisted. And so I connected it here, I twisted it and then nailed it over there. But all that did when I like twisted it is that actually made this end twist even though it's nailed already. And that twist is a problem because the jack stud, when I nail it to the king stud, the jack stud's gonna get twisted. So I had my dad cut up a piece of like blocking that'll just fit in here. I'm gonna see if I can pry this open enough. So there you go. The block was able to force this to be a lot more straight. So the jack stud, it's still gonna have a bit of a tweak to it, but not nearly as bad. Okay, 4 walls and a nice big window. That's a big window.
Okay, you want to get a tarp, throw it on the floor?
Yeah.
Framing these walls taught us more than I expected. Not just about toenailing or framing, but about slowing down, paying attention, and learning from the process rather than just rushing through it. I've said this a bunch lately, but this shed really isn't just a place for us to store tools. It's the first real thing we've built here. And now it's starting to feel like the beginning of something much bigger. So thanks a lot for watching. We really appreciate you being a part of this. We've got a long way to go, but I feel like we're really starting to find our rhythm. So see you next week.
Eat your broccoli. Okay, girlfriend? Totally. OMG.